Yo guys, welcome to another casted game of the EGC Winter Series number 2 of TheViper against Knusselbear. Both are seasoned Age of Empires players, and I'll be looking at this game from TheViper's perspective as I'll be casting you through all the ups and downs of this match. And you'll get to see exactly how to beat French as English. No wait, you get to see exactly how to beat English as French. Well, actually, I'm not going to spoil who's going to win. It's going to go back and forth a lot. Enjoy the game. Yo guys, and welcome to a casted game from the EGC Winter Series number 2. Today is the 4th of January, and we're following TheViper against Knusselbear on the map Dry Arabia. In this tournament, in the first round, the rules are High View is the starting map. You can ban one of your opponent's civilizations, and loser picks the next map. Surprisingly, Viper lost the first map against Knusselbear. You may remember, at least from my perspective, Knusselbear from the game that I uploaded on YouTube, where I went for a Minework Palace instead of a Aachen Chapel on Black Forest, and did a men-at-arms all-in. If I remember correctly, that's the game. He's apparently known from older Age of Empires games. Now, let's set up what's happening here. In the first game, Viper against Knusselbear went Roos on High View. I didn't watch it, but Viper ended up losing, so he's now in a 0-1 deficit. The first place prize for this tournament is $700. And you have to win the tournament in order to get that. All in a day's work, not too bad. Oh wait, does it continue tomorrow? I guess chat will tell me. This game, Viper has gone with English into Knusselbear's French. Viper opened up with a early double scout to collect more than his fair share of the sheep. A quick look reveals that he's already up to 10 sheep total. I believe maps spawn roughly with 24 sheep. I don't know if it's actually not the same on every map, but that's the truth on French Pass, 24 sheep. Dry Arabia doesn't have that many, actually, in my experience. So you quickly have to find new sources of food. It's an English opener with 8 on food, then 3 on gold, and most likely then the next rest usually on wood. But if there's one thing I noticed is that Viper relies a lot on his general game understanding of Age of Empires games, and he kind of wings his build orders. Famously, about a week or two after the game came out, he was in my chat and we talked a bit about build orders and copying some of his builds. He's like, I don't do builds yet. He's just playing. And you can kind of see that it is indeed a little different here. Not starting to set himself up for lumber yet. Don't know if he's going to be going for pro scouts maybe with English, a longbow rush or a fast expansion. He does pull 3 away from gold now, which is why it was weird that he sent a 4th villager to gold. I feel like he's still freestyling and his builds aren't as clean. But his late game adaptation and his comeback ability are nearly unparalleled. I'll be watching this game from the single point of view of the Viper into Knusselbear. This way we can see and fully appreciate the information that he has and how he responds to it when he gets new information. He's got 9 sheep right now, 2 carcasses and 7 still alive, and he has heavily ramped up his wood production. However, with 4 villagers on Council Hall, he will reach Feudal so quickly that the investment of 40 food, 50 wood per longbowman starts so early that he won't really be able to keep up longbow production and villager production simultaneously. One has to wonder where this is going to go for. You can see he barely has any food surplus as it stands just to be able to make villagers. So maybe he can make like 3 or longbows haphazardly, intermittently, and so on. But the extra lumber here is going to come in really useful for the following. The general meta understanding is that the French player, Knusselbear, would be going for knights. The school of cavalry being the de facto default landmark to age up with for the French, means that knights are just 1 production key away. Therefore, you'll generally see English chaperone their longbows with an early barracks and spearman. English has a very strong feudal timing. Their longbows come out at the speed of 2 archery ranges, 7 seconds per bowman, and I think it's 7.5, but the game doesn't show decimals. So it's really 2 archery ranges, not 2.1 or whatever. And the barracks creates hardened spearmen by default. Because English have access to vanguard men-at-arms instead of early spearmen, they don't have to upgrade their spearmen. They are as they are when they come out. Now we see that both are in Feudal Age. That means, for all we know, there could be a cavalry in production. But there are alternative builds as well for French, where they open up with 7 scouts and get the tech for professional scouts so they can retrieve deer and bring them back. A mill has come out with no upgrades as of yet, and another house is coming out. No barracks yet, and we see the first Royal Knight on the field. This is fairly unstandard for English. If you watch many of the English players, streamers and pros, you will see something like 3 bowmen with 2 spears just to buffer themselves against knights. And we see the mill here, which could be a telltale of a potential pro scouts coming out. It could also be a bait. A very early safe outpost by Knusselbear is going to keep him safe from longbow harassment. And Viper decides to start early with expanding the food diversity, different sources. Doing 1 farm already. Farms for English only cost 37 wood, no decimal points. Half that of other factions. So as where most civilizations maybe shouldn't make any farms before the 8-minute mark, and usually at least some by the 10-minute mark, English can start as early as the 5-minute plus mark. And I've been playing them a lot recently and I've really enjoyed making those early farms as a source of renewable food energy. Okay, we have 10 longbows now. 9 longbows is the magic number where you can single shot a non-HP upgraded villager. But killing villagers here with some ninja attacks is far from Viper's mind at this time. He's got a 1.12 tile per second movement speed, as opposed to the Royal Knight 162. 50% slower, which means he cannot go out safely, venture into the night without getting ambushed by these guys. We can see no armor upgrade yet for range for the knights. If I knew more about French, then I would be able to tell you whether he has blacksmith finished, as they get automatically a melee attack upgrade when they do finish it. I don't know if 29 lance damage is upgraded or is not. Abuga Strelbora, 12 longbows now, the barracks coming out now. We've got non-stop villager production, a very standard English resource split with a 7-12 and then some on gold or not. Keeping just 1 villager on gold, it has a pro and a con. You're not really headed anywhere relevant anytime soon, but eventually you'll have some gold in order to afford small little economy upgrades. Wheelbarrow has been started, and that was part of the reason why Viper has had villagers on gold, even if very few. Wheelbarrow is a very important economic upgrade that cuts down movement time between the resource drop-off point and the resource source. Additionally, it is a safety thing, as villagers become faster with a move speed of 129, as opposed to these villagers, which move at 1.12. We can see that Knusselbear has not yet obtained the movement speed upgrade, the wheelbarrow. He has gone for pro scouts, but that's something only we can see. Viper doesn't know this unless he knows this, based on, you know, seeing deer disappear, which of course is the case. There are 3 deer here, and there's a maximum of 7 to 10 per camp. There's a lot of gold mining, so what this looks like is a castle age with defense from our French player. That's what this looks like. We see a lot of scouts, we didn't see many knights, we see a range for safety, or maybe for units, and a lot on gold. So 5-6 villagers keeps up knight production. He has 8. That means he's slowly building up a gold surplus, either for upgrades or for a castle age. Now think of a 12-minute castle age. And when we see the current resources, that's probably kind of true. Okay, bows are coming in. He one-shots archers. He knows how many he needs to one-shot archers. 12 times 6 is 72, and archers have 70 health. So he knew exactly 12 bows is a one-shot. He's going to try to kill some villagers under the town center. Immediate response by the French player. But you see, it's not heavily punished. because the range of a TC is 8 and of a bowman is 7, so you won't step into range for long. I love the fact that the scout is here scouting the satellite, the site location. I also like the pattern of the farms. I've been doing the exact same thing. If you build your farms in the closest proximity, you get a perfect hex of 8 farms around the mill. All of those are going to be having a 15% bonus gathering rate, as that is... Actually, it's 15% in Dark Age, 20 in Feudal, 25 in Castle, and 30% in Imperial. That's sick. Nice. So you can have 8 perfectly around it for optimum walking distance, but if you do it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can fit in 2 extra because you're making use of further corners. It does mean a slightly longer drop-off point, but now you only need 1 mill. Instead, for 8 farms, you can have it for 10 farms. I've been doing the same thing for the most part. Yeah, you didn't need to press it that many times. I don't know what that was. Why did you just hold the R button? They all have an individual cooldown, you see, and it's best not to use all of them, but okay. Maybe it's mostly 7 deer. I feel like I used to see more deer per camp, but it might be that my memory of 10 deer per camp was more of a double deer before I properly knew the game and I kept wrong info in my mind. Shinuba in chat is saying it's always 7. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. Keep in mind, if Viper loses this game, he will be eliminated. As it stands, he does a safety tower with just 5 villagers gathering deer. You don't want to put more, because then you can't fit in the tower. He's looking to limit losses if he gets attacked. It seems he's pretty all in. 23 bows, 10 spears, and he's making rams at the 11-minute mark. You can have your first ram out by the 7-minute mark, or 7:30, but you would sacrifice major unit production. He still puts Knushelbear on a Castle Age timing here. Because of that, he's looking to pull the rug out from under Knushelbear. And he can do that by killing houses, which have been conveniently located towards the front. If you can kill houses, even if your opponent reaches castle, you can have them stuck with lots of resources that will not be useful to bring about to bear in the defense of the city. We now have the blacksmith finished, the first ranged armor coming out, and house destruction has begun. Bows might as well try to kill houses as well, but no, he's gonna go for a cheeky villager snipe. Quick reaction though, by Knushelbear prevents any and all villagers from dying. But the cool thing is, when the ram is here, the French not only needs to put all their villagers in the town center, they also instantly need to retarget to a max range longbow. Not an easy micro feat to pull off. With the ram here, it is going to be the first default attack target, and although town center can retarget, it would require very quick reflexes indeed. And before you know it, the English is moving out of the range already, and your effort will be for naught. 28 bows, 14 spears, a scout and a ram, non-stop production coming out. We've got melee armor coming in, and now ranged armor as well. A full feudal attack. I like what Viper is doing here, but he still needs to make sure that this is going to be working and is going to be pulled off. We also see that there's a kind of scout counterattack trying to catch reinforcements. This can't be too effective. He probably right-clicked Viper's scout for a bit and will be paying for it with one of his own scouts. In fact, make that 2 scouts down. 3 houses have been eliminated. We have a lot of longbows and spears coming in. Now we finally see the army that the French has. He decided not to go for Castle Age. It's a full knight and archer attack. He marshaled his forces, in fact kept them out of vision to make sure that Viper cannot appropriately adapt to the situation. That is a lot of units here. The archers of the French player are completely untouched, and they're getting free fire on the spears. So many knights are still left, and now we've got knights and archers into longbows. The longbows aren't moving. He's trying to just kill some units. He knows he can't run away anymore. He's got longbows hidden in both towers, trying to get kills here. We're looking at the villager count, 45. I can only imagine the French player has as many, if not more, villagers. This was a brutal assassination, destruction of Viper's forces. This is pretty incredible. Our Genesis $20,000 winner, our Genesis $20,000 tournament winner, and I believe semi-finalist of the first Winter Series, is looking at potential elimination. And I'm saying that fully knowing that it's probably a good dose of copium for Viper fans that it's just a potential elimination, because that looked absolutely brutal. Knuschelbear has a gold surplus right now of 1,000. We're looking at the income. He's getting 5 times the amount of gold, half the wood, same food. This is not good for Viper here. He killed a bunch of houses. He tried to snipe some villagers, but completely kept his cool, did Knuschelbear. And I think it was really key that he didn't constantly show the army he has. Having his production below his town center made it harder, I guess, to scout for it. That wasn't impossible for the Viper. He could have tried to run by here or there with his scout to check the army and ask himself, am I still doing a sensible thing here? Sharking around with this army. He must have felt pretty good with the amount of spears he had, the amount of longbows he had, the tower fallback point. But my, that was pretty devastating. And now a knight counterattack coming for some vision. Maybe get some kills on the villagers. Will Viper see it on time? Yes, he does. Quick reaction. No villagers will go down yet. But towers are notoriously ineffective into knights. So that knight is going to live here rent-free for quite a bit. Little twirl of its lance. Doesn't do a charge attack, but 3 hits will kill this villager. There's the first victim. 48 villagers. Is Viper still making villagers at this time? Yes. Bows are starting to shoot. Spear comes to the rescue and gets the kill. Towers have been cleared up. There is a new tower here and more still. You know what would have been sick? If maybe Viper had built a whole wall around his aggressive cordon. A whole wall, like a fallback point wall. Now, let's play with the idea that this isn't over. In my instincts, Knuschelbear has done it. He's got so much gold, current resources peaking at 2,000. But let's say, if we're looking back at this from the future, how did Viper come back? We play with that idea. He would maybe need to go for either a King's Palace Age 3 landmark himself, ramping up his gold production, or perhaps he could go with the White Tower, choosing to not try to catch up via villagers, saying, no, I want to keep up the pressure. I'm going to put a White Tower in an aggressive location. It functions as a landmark for Age 3, but it also functions as a fallback point, a defense point, a network of castles buff location, which offers bonus attack speed to nearby units. And, crucially, you can make siege engines out of it. You can make almost any unit, as the English, out of a keep, which is pretty damn interesting. You can have some wood sales now to get to Castle Age, and that's exactly what he's doing. Seeing a drop in resources for Knuschelbear makes me feel like he might be going for Castle Age as well. And even without the information of this HUD, we might still expect exactly that, as Viper must feel the fact that Knuschelbear isn't attacking right now to be a relevant indicator that Castle will be coming out. This is exactly what I hoped to see from Viper. I think the White Tower is correct here. I don't think you go to this game and say, King's Palace is what I need presently. I want more villager production. And there's the Castle Age for Knuschelbear. So it's only going to be about a 10-second disparity between them reaching Castle Age. The game goes on very interestingly. Will we have early men-at-arms upgrade? No, we don't. So he's not looking at men-at-arms yet. And what does he think will help to counter the large force of knights here from Knuschelbear? Is he going to go do some wall-ups? Is he going to invest in the late game via a monastery and pick up some relics? For some reason, I don't think so. Well, as the dust settles and we start to see his next move, let's do a quick look at his economy upgrades. I know a lot of you are very interested in this. We've got specialized pick and double broadaxe completely untouched. No horticulture, just wheelbarrow and nothing else. That's a large force of knights. He could get caught out here. His bows are getting shots. His spears! No! 1, 2, 3, 4 bows dead. 5 bows dead already. His spears walked too far away. He killed nothing in return. Fantastic trade there for Knuschelbear. Trade, more like a robbery. Meanwhile, how are the upgrades coming along? The longbows are veteran now. That gives them a nice chunk of bonus health and damage. The spears, not so much yet. And no matter how many upgrades the spears have, they're not going to do great into these veteran archers, which already have 2 ranged armor upgrades. The knights, therefore, will be 4, 5, 6 armor against bows, meaning they only take 3 damage a pop. Only now has balanced projectiles began for Viper, as he's been low on gold thus far. Been trading a bit with the marketplace to try and sort out his economy, and the White Tower is making a mangonel. That is wise. Mangonel is the biggest power spike you can get when you reach Castle Age for pretty much any civilization. And where Abbasid and Mongol can build them on the field, the English need to build a siege workshop, or they can make it from the White Tower if they go for the White Tower Castle Age landmark. For some reason, Viper is still in the game and he hasn't been killed yet. He still has a decent amount of villagers, 59, starting to expand his farmland. Still no economy upgrades whatsoever, and you can see why. Economy upgrades take, on average, 3 to 7 minutes to pay off. And had he gone for any economy upgrades, that could have made him weaker at any crucial minute in the game, as it was never clear to him when he was going to get attacked. If he was able to ceteris paribus, nothing else changes, point at one area in the game where he had enough resources to get an upgrade without having a gap in anything else, sure, he would have slotted one in. There's always a bit of a bank in order to get one of the economy upgrades. But it's that uncertainty about not knowing which minute is going to be crucial, could be game ending. That's what keeps people away from economy upgrades, as losing the game is so terribly final. There are no takebacks, no redos. The mangonel here. Mangonel from both sides. That's got to be an escape for the Viper. But for Knuselbear, I feel like it's wise if he hard engages into the Spearman. One mangonel shot makes the Spearmen regret their position already. Wow, nice! 2 knights instantly go down to the spear fire as longbows kill another 2 knights. Decent trades here for the Viper. And while the knights do have a torch attack, they're not best spent on attacking mangonels, as they have a large attack that doesn't really... well, it's not the most efficient to actually do torch attacks with. Scouts, for instance, have the same torch damage. A really decent trade here. I'm impressed by both players. Getting that early mangonel out is super key, and the spears were relatively cheap cannon fodder. Well, maybe about 20 spears died, 0 longbows, as Viper should be hitting that setup camp now to get some healing. The spears died, but he killed a good chunk of knights. Anywhere from 7 to 9, if my estimation is correct. He also did some damage on archers, which, unlike the longbowmen here from the English, have no way to heal up unless the French does a very unusual monk creation play and then slowly heals them up. And it's gonna take minutes, guys. They don't have very fast healing rate. Looks like Viper's now thinking of making an expansion, and hold that thought, he's already done so. You'll rarely see a game from the Viper in any Age of Empires game where he's not gonna try at some point to throw up a town center, no matter how pressured. I think it's key to remember here that in the current meta of Age of Empires 4, town centers that can come out the very earliest at 5 minute 30 are thoroughly unpopular. You see how much pressure both players can put on each other. They really measured themselves with military prowess and have kept themselves and the opponent honest by pressure or the threat of pressure. I forget to heal the archers often too, Niels. Okay. Yes. Still striving for that perfection, Niels. That's... But we'll get there. But look at Viper though. Why isn't he healing? Like I feel like I heal more often at least. Springles are coming out here to protect the mangonels and to protect himself from mangonels. There's 3 mangoes here. 3 mangoes beat the army better, but 3 Springles will beat the mangonels better. And then Viper will be the only one left with mangonels. And I say that, but no, he doesn't have any mangonels right now. So the way he's going to try to play this is to snipe mangonels, but always kite backwards. But now he doesn't have a threat into knights and archers with his own mangoes. He's gained siege superiority, but no more than that. Many idle villagers. That's something we can all agree on, at least, that I never have, Niels APB. Idle villagers. I'm one of the fastest in the West at correcting their position to start mining. Wouldn't you say that that's true? Turn on chat for a second here. Yes, that is true. Thank you. Oh, that's good to know. I will still look at it from time to time to see if that's true or not. 2 knights. And we've got 2 barracks, a council, and a white tower. More springled production. He's gonna have 4. Thank you for the sub, intranets. 35 longbows, 24 spears, and a small little knight counterattack. Okay. Viper positions aggressively again. You know, this always reminds me of a game of soccer, a game of football, where when you are a goalkeeper and a striker has broken through the lines of defense, do you stand still in the goal to try and stop his attempt on the target? Or do you move forward, pressuring him and giving him a smaller angle to try and shoot into the goal? And that's what they tried to teach me in the soccer club that I was a part of when I was a kid, is move forward. Basically, his whole base looks super exposed against knight attacks, but by moving forward, he's creating a focal point, a fulcrum, if you will, of attention, where the French player is not going to feel as comfortable to move past the perimeters. Of course, it takes an enlightened strategic mind to see past this fulcrum and to send knight counterattacks anyway on the flanks. So let's see how this is going to play out. The Springles are taking fire at the Mangonel. 1 Mangonel goes down. There's still 2. They're trying to get some shots in. He decides to shoot on the spears rather than the more attractive longbow ball. Springles have done their job. They've taken out every single Mangonel. It's now just longbows into archers and knights, with 1 more Springled on the field here for Knusselbear. The longbows are seeking to escape the jealous attention of the knights. They don't want none of that energy. Negative Jubu as they're shooting down knight after knight. How many damage are they doing? 10 damage into 6 armor. 4 damage a pop. Not too bad when you consider the focus fire. There's a tower here. No Springled in placement. Bows are continuing to run. Springled trying to do what he can as well. Getting 20 damage in. No, 30 on the knight. And he kills all the knights. I am shocked. Call me Nancy and give me a cookie, because I did not expect it would be going like this. Spears have pressured the gold again. Look at the current resources. He's got 800 gold still, not too strapped for it. 21 bows, 6 spears and a Springled. The fight continues. There's a villager in the town center, but the keep has been interrupted. Springled is getting some good shots in, killing about an archer with every shot. Did he actually target fire the low ones? Yeah, he did. I was like, it's such a coincidence that he's killing. He targeted like 3 on purpose. That's interesting. Okay, more spears are coming out. And longbows. Spears and longbows, spears and longbows. 81 economy. You know, I'll tell you what. If Knusselbear felt so pressured, so convinced it's going to be an honorable 1 town center versus 1 town center game, I feel like the Viper might have just squeezed out a comeback here. Miraculous as it is. He lost his army so cost inefficiently when he went for the pressure. But then again, we don't know if Knusselbear did really fall for that. As we can see, Knusselbear himself has 400 stone. Was it in anticipation of a keep in order to use the enlistment incentives, or was it part of a stone gathering ploy to make his own 2nd town center? And we now see that is indeed the case. 2nd town center is here. Cool fact about Longbowmen, in Castle Age versus Castle Age Springleds, they actually, unlike archers, have just enough damage to cross over the threshold of where you just do minimum damage into Springleds. Springleds have 8 ranged armor and longbows do 10 damage, so they do 2 damage a pop. Have a cookie, Nancy. Thanks, Bedido. I am surprised indeed. I'm glad you are accentuating my point in this manner. 800 stone is here, so we can make another keep actually. It's not gone for boiling oil yet. Double rams. 27 bows, 9 spears. So there is a 2nd town center here for Knusselbear. He's got 400 stone. May not have a keep for enlistment incentives, but he has set up his buildings to fit a keep here. Maybe that's exactly what he's doing, or has already done. We don't know. We're watching this from 1 POV, which is why it's so exciting. Knights coming in. Mangonels. Mangonels get a shot off on the villagers that don't have textile upgrade yet. Does he start it as he sees that? No, he doesn't. No textiles upgrade. That's still a lot of knights, man. It's pretty scary. Not a lot of archers are left. Rams are going for the town center. And Springles getting shots off on Mangonels. He needs 3 shots on Mangonel because of the 8 ranged armor. And he gets it. 1 Mangonel goes down. He kills the second town center. That's huge. No counter harass right now. Man. We're at 29 minutes in the game, and this feudal game has transitioned to castle and is still ongoing. I feel like I'm learning so much here about resilience, about wind conditions, about pressure. It's super cool. And also about laser focus, I think. Having a focus, not spreading yourself too thin, and really just doubling down on a few key units with the appropriate support. I think that's how to play Castle Age. Springles and Mangoes, 2 basic units, the best ones that you have access to, and then playing your heart out. The White Tower was a great decision. It does mean that he doesn't have a siege workshop, which means that he does not have the bonus movement speed. Nice spear snipe there on the Mangonel. He doesn't have the bonus movement speed that Mangonels and Springles can get. But then again, that would be an investment of 800 resources just for the movement speed, right? Because it's 350 gold, it's 300 wood to get the siege workshop, and there's a secondary resource for the speed as well of this upgrade for speed. Finally getting a monastery to pick up some of the low-hanging fruit that's been dangling in his face. No Gachigasm. There's a relic here, there's a relic here, so he can get a bit of extra gold generation. Note that he's not gathering any gold presently. Now let's look at the keep and the White Palace. They're making several Springles right now. He's starting some of that healing again on the longbows. 41 longbows, 15 spears, 2 rams coming out again. Now let's look at the economy upgrades. What have we got? 1 lumber preservation, no specialized pick. Makes sense, right? Viper never really had a lot of villagers on gold, so there isn't much to boost. And then no horticulture. That one is probably not the best choice. When you have 40 villagers on food, horticulture is so worth it. If anything, you can sell food in the marketplace, which, to be fair, people have been doing quite a lot already. By the way, oh my god, I just saw the food count here for Knushobear. This is ridiculous. How does he have 5,000 food? You don't die, guys. You don't die with 5,000 food. That is illegal. You're supposed to sell that, get gold, do other things. Sure enough, he does have that very smart setup there with the keep in the center that gives the bonus cost reduction to any archery range and stable in range. That's why knights now only cost 112.80. That's why archers cost less. So that's really smart. Always set up in a L shape and then a semicircle and then a full circle around a presumed keep location. So peak performance from both players here. We have our first monk in production. I still feel like it looks good for Knushobear. He's got so much food. I can't see him throwing this away. Man, what a game, what a game. He does feel the pressure. He's being thrown off. He's been denied a little bit on his gold sometimes. And at the end of the day, Dry Arabia is a scarce map. Note where we look at the minimap, we see no gold here on the... We see it here visually, but if you look at the minimap, no gold. That is currently a kind of a minimap error by Relic. That is also true in game. This is not an observer bug. What it means is that this gold is empty. We have a gold here, which is full. We have a gold here. And then we've got the gold here. So the real problem for Knushobear, gold squeeze. He's got a gold squeeze. And now that this is being attacked, and I think he did walk into vision, so French player can respond to this already. There's a knight there looking at relics, perhaps. 45 outposts complete. Still no horticulture, by the way. I think it's a mistake. Where's the monk? He's got 2 monks. He's got 1 here. Where's the other monk? Picking up a relic. So he pretended to go for the gold, but he feels like he would be too exposed if he did. This outpost has been fortified. There's 2 keeps. What's our units? Mass Trebuchet? Mass Trebuchet, guys. You all should check out the Age of Noob video on repair. Wait, was it Age of Noob? No. It was another guy. Kush or something. Maybe some of you know what I'm talking about, and then I can link it. But there's a repair video with maths, lots of maths, And he called Trebuchet not a base destroyer, but an economy dysregulator. Because one Trebuchet can be out-repaired by 2 villagers. 2 Trebuchets by 4 to 5. 3 Trebuchets needs 9 or 8 or something, because the speed of repair goes down. It's not spirited at all. The speed of repair goes down per extra villager, but the cost remains the same. So every next Trebuchet increasingly greatly stresses the lumber repair cost of your opponent. You can see this is pretty good damage. Trebuchets are dealing 450 damage a pop. Okay, one villager repairs like 40 health per second, but the next one only does 30 plus. And then like the 20th villager does like less than a health per second or something like that. Springald's going for the Trebuchet. Wait, new age? Who? TheViper went Imperial? Oh, he went Imperial where? With what? Berkshire Palace. Berkshire Palace with a range of 12. He's now Imperial, and how is he gonna use it? We have an immediate Elite Spearman upgrade. He's maxed. Oh, the massive attack coming in! Knights and archers. Archers moving up real close. The knights looking to pursue the longbows here right before the Elite Spearman upgrade finishes. This is a massive force. It looks surely enough to deal with these trebuchets. The main town center, however, has been deleted, as the knights are killing Springald's trebuchets and more. We have boiling oil finally being researched. Would that he would have it earlier, don't you think? In the meantime, no elite longbows yet. He does not have the gold anymore. He could sell food for it. If we look at the marketplace, food actually has a terrible sell rate now. I think both may have been doing it. He only gets 16 gold for 100 food. And I just want to go ahead and posit that very maybe one of the players has been selling food on purpose, maybe Viper, in order to stress the opponent's ability to sell food, as market rates are actually global. It slowly regenerates to a better rate. We can now see 18 gold. But if Viper had become aware of the effectiveness of the squeeze of gold that he had put the French player on, he would sell food just out of spite, even if he didn't need the gold. That would be a really interesting economic play. And something that very well could be possible. Or maybe they just both wanted the same thing. Possible as well. And this is going to be something that's advanced, it's deep, it's interesting, it's fun in Age of Empires 4. And you're going to see more and more of that as the game matures and people get more and more experienced. And aren't just worrying about where their next meal is coming from, but they're able to kind of sit down and do some art. Okay, how many villagers have we got? 87. I think quite a few villagers have been murdered already. We have 30... How many? 34 longbows with elite upgrade now. 12 attack. We have a monastery with 2 relics. We have 1 blacksmith with full attack upgrades. Everything else a bit. So 12 damage is how much longbows do at elite. I thought it would be more, but it's a really cheap unit, so not too bad, I suppose. If Viper can fit in a university, then he can do even more with incendiary arrows, offering an extra 2 damage. How does burning oil work? It procs once every 45 seconds, dealing 35 damage to all units nearby. I've tried to proc it before with a single unit walking in, but it doesn't seem to trigger on a single unit, because with such a large cooldown, you would want to know, and I don't know if anyone has tested it, I should test it, you would want to know how many minimum units it requires. How long does it damage for? It's a single AoE burst damage in a I don't know, like an area this big around it. Every 45 seconds, a single burst of like 30, 40 damage or something. Don't take any of this, what I just said, for fact. I still need to fully test it. I don't know if anyone has done it, but if there is a minimum amount of units to trigger the trap, then you would of course want to walk in with 5 spears before you walk in with 50. It feels a bit like Stasis Trap from the Witch Doctor in Warcraft 3. So what have we got now? 2 bombards, 12 bows, 1 monk, and 26 spears. The tooltip for boiling oil says 9.5 seconds. Oh, it's much more frequent than I thought. Is that so? I guess we can do the old open the tech tree. No, let's not do that. we lose time on watching. Gold has been secured here for Knushelbear. And the bombers go for the keep. Once bombers are out on the field, keeps really lose out in value. This kind of keep is still going to be good because there's the additional incentive, enlistment incentive. And keeps for English are still good in the back because you can make any unit out of it. But aggressive keeps for both factions are going to be significantly worse. I think boiling oil is not expensive. It should always be worth it. Here we see the Viper in classical Age of Empires fashion, having a few units everywhere. A lot of people fall prey to the trap of having all their army in one big blob. Viper has 4 Pokeboys harassing villagers here that do have textile upgrade. Viper's villagers himself do not, which is of course an unforgivable mistake. I mean, you know, we can forgive him, but it's not sensible not to have it after all this time. When you've got 97 villagers and you've made a total of 140, having 50% extra health, it's worth it. So we've got 97 villagers and 98 army. We have 53 longbows, 2 bombers and 38 spears. Few army units everywhere. And these veteran archers feel unupgraded. Yeah, they're not elite. We have elite royal knights. I don't know since how long, but I feel like it's been some time coming for Knushelbear, the elite. Well, this has been an incredible game so far already. It does look like Viper is claiming control over it. It's incredible that if he does this, it's incredible that he would have done this after basically having an opponent be 5,000 gold and crushing his army once. Bombers getting some shots off here on the town center. We've got more stone gathering. Interesting to see Viper going for the elite army tactics in lieu of perhaps incendiary arrows. Now this reads as the health of all melee infantry and their damage. So it doesn't actually affect archers. They're not melee, just spears. So when he has 37 spear, 53 bow, he'd rather get more health on the spears. Interesting. All sacred sites have been gathered. Economy is getting harassed everywhere. We have income per minute of 1,400 gold now for Viper, as he has how many relics? Where was that monastery? 2 relics and 3 sites. And he's gathering gold. Against 300 gold. He's blasting Knushelbear out of the water in every respect. As the spears are now doing a backdoor. 3 relics here for Knushelbear. And the university is working on royal bloodlines. Yeah, he's been Imperial for a good 5 minutes. He would have wanted this instantly if he were rich. If he were a rich French, he would get royal cavalry, la 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 la. But he didn't have all the money in the world, la 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 la. We have a keep here with stables and archers. Blah, he just brought back everything for all these spears. These are still just veteran archers, not elite. That's how strapped for resources he is. He crushes this army, but this is an army of junk mostly. It's going to be replaced by men at arms. And he thought about getting arrow volley, and then he cancelled it. I wonder why. Ah, that's why. Elite crossbows coming out instead. So he basically sees these 44 bows as obsolete and not worthy of investing into further, even though he could upgrade arrow volley that gives them 70% bonus attack speed. Does he think this stacks? Wait, does it stack? No, it doesn't stack. Okay, he probably thinks it stacks. It doesn't, so I don't know why he holds that button. Knights coming in. They've got the royal bloodlines. 364 health. They beeline for the bombards. Mangonels are coming in. Are they going to get a big shot off? Boom! Headshot! 2 bows down. The rest, large collateral damage. They're going to kite away from the mangonel, which are moving forward. Spears, men-at-arms. Men-at-arms doing fantastic into veteran archers. They have 10 ranged armor. That special English upgrade for 2 extra armor is paying dividends here. Well, to be fair, even if they had 8 armor, they would still only take 1 damage from the veteran archers. But now with 10 ranged armor, 9 melee armor, those are tanky boys indeed. Tanky boys indeed. Small little smatterings of wood gathering in various places. And what is the army comp now? We are starting to see some crossbows. Of course, dealing bonus damage into knights with a 22 damage plus 11 versus heavy. Really nice. Incendiary arrows is complete. So we're starting to see that lovely fire attack. Bows with 14 damage. Doing pretty respectable as well against the 7 ranged armor here of the Elite Royal Knights. It looks like at long last, Viper has broken the Knushelbeer. What does that mean? Like cuddly bear? It's something cute in German. Incredible. A 45-minute game. Presumable comeback. We should be seeing GG any moment soon here. Very, very interesting. Yeah, it's Cuddle Bear. It's so cute. A royal cannon. The GG. Wow. What a comeback. What a comeback. Pure Viper resilience. How did Knushelbeer lose it? I think he could just make some of his own ramps and go counter all in. I think that would have been the best castle all in.